Hi there, it's Derek here at the Port of Yokohama. We're taking a look here at a Toyota Crown. This one here is the final version of the Toyota Crown. It's a 2003, 130,000 kilometers, and that there is a single turbo version of the 1JZ engine. And so it puts out probably around 300-ish horsepower, officially 280, but probably more like 300. Rear wheel drive, lots of room, and the Toyota Crown is kind of, well, not kind of, it is Toyota's flagship model, and very, very popular here in Japan. These are probably one of my favorite cars at the moment because you get a nice 5 Series size vehicle. It's a station wagon. You get maybe one of the best engines that was made of this era. And I just love the styling of it, love fast wagons, love the fact that you can get it in 4-wheel drive, but this one's 2-wheel drive. Note that the 4-wheel drive ones never came with the turbo engine though. You can get a non-turbo 1J if you wanted the 4-wheel drive. And so this is going to be a post-purchase inspection video where we go over the condition of the car compared to the auction sheet. This one was bought from auction by us and it's going to be sent over to the UK. Okay, so oil looks to be a little bit low, not past the minimum, so you're going to want to check that as soon as you get it. It's a bit dirty too. Coolant, it's red coolant, so it's a little bit hard to tell what condition it's in just visually. And then surprise, here in 2012 at 99,255 kilometers, the timing belt has been changed. Okay, not much else to say about that, so let's close the hood, have a quick look at the gorgeous lines of it. I really think that they got the looks of this really good. I would like to see some bigger wheels on it, to be honest, but if it is going to be a utility vehicle, having that bigger sidewalls does make sense. If it were mine, you'd get at least 18-inch wheels, if not 19s on there. And they have nice big fenders in order to fit the larger wheels in there if you want to. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the auction inspection sheet. Before I do that, I'm going to turn the engine off because no need to keep that running now that it is at operating temperature. And we'll come back to the interior here in a sec. Okay, so I'll just quickly translate this for you. It's a 2003 Crown Estate Athlete V. So the Athlete V version is the turbo, and the seller here wanted you not to make any mistakes, so they wrote turbo up here as well. 2.5 liter engine, auction grade 4 with an interior C. Now I think they're being a little bit hard on the interior grade there. I think the interior is probably more like a B, is what I would give it. 134, 230 kilometers at the time of auction. Automatic transmission. They only come as an automatic, but you can shift yourself through buttons on the steering wheel. Actually, same as the GS or the Aristo, because they run on an iteration of the same chassis. So there's your button there for downshifting, and on the opposite side of the steering wheel is your upshift button. Okay, so original silver color, comes with sunroof, alloy wheels, power steering, power windows, navi, and airbag. Purchased from user, registered car until 2020, October. And then has history papers, lots of them, 2003, 2004, 2008, 2010, 2014, 2016, 2018, and all the mileage during that. And also in 2012, it had an updated version of the Navi-ROM, so it would have the new roads in there. Okay, so looking at the body here, now it's got a number of marks on it, but I think that they were going a bit overboard with the marks. For example, they have a windshield windshield crack, which is typically something you're going to be a little bit worried about. Might lower the price a little bit as well, but your windshield crack turned out to be just this. And so I think another auction would probably rate that as a rock chip instead of a crack. Also, they said W3 here, which means a poorly repainted panel. I'll quickly show you that. Now, it is noticeable that it's repainted. I don't think it's terribly done. And I might call this a W2 instead of a W3. You can see, like, if you look carefully in this section here, you can see some weird marks. And it does look like a lower quality paint. But, as a whole, it's not something that you're going to notice unless you're specifically looking for the condition of the paint on that panel. It's not like it's a different color or has bubbles or other things that you'll typically see in a W3 panel. Okay, other than that, everything is either small or minor. This one here, the A2, and I'll do a whole once around of the vehicle so you can see these from afar as well. This A2 is maybe the only other one that may be of some concern, and that is right here. Okay, so going to do the once around now that I have gone over the auction inspection sheet. Everything else on there is too minor to really show. Now this is full stock condition in terms of suspension and wheels and exhaust. It looks like most of these come in silver, and then second place is white. Any other color than that is pretty rare, but I've seen them in black and burgundy. I'm not sure what other colors that they came in though. I really love the look of this from the back, with a nice large tail lights, half on the hatch and half not, and then the very square and muscular look to it. A lot of wagons these days become quite soft, and you know, I like the looks of a soft wagon, but the chunky looks of a wagon is going to give you better utility inside, and kind of harkens back to, you know, a Volvo look, which for people my age, I think a lot of people really like the wagons of the Volvos before Subaru came and kicked everybody's butt with their legacy. Okay, so there is the exterior, and let's go to the interior now. Now it looks like roof racks used to be on here. You can see a little bit of discoloration there. There's a spoiler, wagon spoiler, because 300 horsepower. And the single turbo version of the 1J is a dream. I like the twin turbo, but the single turbo is a big step up. Better fuel economy, torque way lower, and a lot more linear power. Now this one is a cloth. I don't buy these enough to know about like the leather interior. I believe that you can get it as leather, but I kind of prefer the cloth unless you sit on barbecue sauce. I actually was driving my R32 Golf in Canada, and someone who was in the passenger seat, my wife, sat on barbecue sauce, and it was very nice to have the leather. If you're not sitting on barbecue sauce, then I think the fabric is probably better. I'm just going to start the engine here because there's something I want to show you. I'll show you the folding mirrors, because that's basically on all Japanese cars, so nothing to worry about there. But the thing I want to show you is these vents here swing back and forth, or you can turn it off, but it's a function for them to swing back and forth for the air conditioning to go throughout the cabin. Now, it's just a gimmick. I think it's a little bit silly, but I also think that's really awesome. You also have different controls for the temperature right and left. And here's something I don't like about it. You have to use this screen in order to handle the AC, so you can't replace this screen unless you want your AC function to go away, which most people don't want. This one here is a 6 CD changer and tape deck for all of your outdated formats that you want to use. And then it doesn't smell bad inside. Looks like it has been smoked in, but it doesn't look like it has been heavily smoked in. Shifting is all good. Actually, I have no reason to keep this running. Ooh, you're off. So it needs a cleaning, but overall I'm pretty happy. These buttons here are for moving the front seat, for if you want to have more room in the back, but you don't want to ask the driver. Actually, you can't reach the passenger seat controls on the opposite side of the seat from the driver's position, but you would be able to reach these if you wanted to move it. This handle here is a little bit warped, which is a bit strange, but you can see here you get a reasonable amount of room in the back, and it's wider than a lot of Japanese cars, and so compared to something like a Legacy, you're going to have more shoulder room for your big shouldered guys or big shouldered girls. Okay, into the back here, and that is an impressive amount of storage space. That's more than you would typically get in something like an X5 BMW. But it's in a station wagon, so it can still be sporty when you're driving around. And so that's part of the reason why I love sporty wagons so much, is that they're more car-like, but then you get the utility, especially useful if you've got a family. And you know, this one's going to Europe, where they appreciate wagons. Not like people in Canada, where I come from. And subwoofer. And a cigarette lighter adapter. That's fun. Okay. So, I got one more car to shoot, that one over there. But this review is going to be finished now. Hope you enjoyed the port videos. You can actually see Mount Fuji at this time of day, but you'd have to go up there onto the highway in order to see it. Anyway, that'll be the end of this report. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching and have a nice day.